Oh well, you don't see any Maygays for ages, and then two come along at once. This is what you call a callback board. It's something a service engineer never wants to get. I'm not a service engineer, and I don't even want to get it. It's a board I've repaired previously and appears to have the dreaded 7 lights of death. Now, that's actually a red herring at the minute. The board is lying to me. Or at least the program card is lying to me, and I'll show you why in a minute. So, I got this off a friend, Mr. Hardy. Contact through Damon on YouTube. I repaired this board in 2017 and it had various issues with it, some broken traces, the usual battery corrosion, all that guff. I got it to the point where it was working and I sent it back, and he put it in a Great Escape machine and it worked fine. But it was when he tried to move it to another machine, it started to develop some problems. And as you can see, it does have some problems. But not all as it seems. Now, he's set me another board up here as well. And, well, you can't see it now because I've already replaced the socket, but the PAL chip was you can just see a little touch of green on the edges there. The PAL chip was a corroded mess and the socket was all green, whatever. Now, I filed the pins of the PAL chip down and I replaced the socket, resoldered it on the back there, and this board does have some other issues. There's no clocks on it anywhere, so it needs figuring out, but concentrate on this one for the minute. So, as you can see, totally stuck in reset, but watch. I'm just going to pause for a second and swap the boards out. Hold on. Right, so swap those boards out. I've now got my Maygay test ROM back in there, and watch. Power up. The board's running fine. Yeah, okay, I know that the test ROM only enables some certain parts of the board. I think it only deals with the 68681 really. It does a quick PIA test and whatever. But if that can boot up, then that card over there should be able to boot up. Because this does exactly the same what that does, and it's a startup phase. It sets the watchdog, it sets the PAL up to stop the watchdog trigger, it enables the PIA and that 68681 there, and it reads the ROM RAM and goes offline and does whatever. Okay, it doesn't use the sound, it doesn't use IOs or reels or anything like that, but it is booting. CPU is running code, the RAM is working, the ROM's working, and the 68681 is obviously working. So if this can start, that can start. So it gets me to thinking, is there something that this card is doing different from that? Well, they're totally different cards, but basically they're doing the same thing. Is something in the sound enabled circuit causing it to crash down? Well, no, because if it was crashing down and it was accessing the sound from this, it would crash when it's trying to do access sound on that. It wouldn't anyway, because there's nothing to do with sound in the test ROM. But if there was a fault with the sound circuit and the data and address lines coming back from the sound circuit, it probably still would crash. There's nothing wrong with this board that I can see, and I've buzzed every line out I can see on this board that I can test here with this test ROM and various other things I've done today. There's nothing wrong with the board. Symptoms you're getting are not due to the board itself. They're due to something on the program card, and it is, if this will focus, it is this chip here. This chip here is tied to the data and address bus at the same time as this. Now, if that test ROM can run, and you can read the program ROM and that, then surely you can read the address and data lines on that, because the edge connector is fine. It's reading, it has to be fine, it's booted the ROM. But if something on this card was sticking some of the address or data lines or select or whatever, then it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't, but it would stick and reset, and that's what we're seeing here. Now, it's not going to be these ROMs here, because the sound processor deals with those. they've got nothing to do with the address and data bus connected to this. What this does have to do with is this. So just on a hunch, I'm going to swap that out, and I'm going to do it live right now. I'll put the camera down for a second. I say camera, it's my bloody phone, it's always my phone, but yeah. I've got one up there that I've taken out a dead card. That's the only thing there that I can figure out would cause the ROM to crash. So hang on. See, that's still blinking away there. You're going to see the glorious sign of, well, a white box. Yeah. Turn that off a minute, ready to swap. I didn't just figure this out, by the way. This took a good few hours to figure out. Tore my hair out all last night working on this, and I only thought of this morning. Just make sure I get this the right way around. The stickers on these aren't always the right way around on the cards. Got to be very careful that you match the notches up. Neat. Different one in. You gotta be very careful of the notches on that side, just like on the ROM. Sometimes people tend to match the stickers. But sometimes these stickers have fell off, or people have taken them off, etc. And you put it in what you think's the right way around, and you blow the chip up. And I think that's actually what happened to that one up there. That's just come out of this. Right. Put this down again for a second. I'll show you the difference. Right. EastEnders boots. That gal chip is shorted. Some of its lines are stuck. It's a GAL 16 V8, so the reason it's not focusing very well. There we go. It's a GAL 16 V8, and actually, I believe it might have been in the wrong way around because the sticker's upside down on it. Come on, focus your bugger. Right. But anyway, that's the problem. That was causing the ROM card to crash. Okay, it doesn't look like it's doing much, but what that actually means is that there's no paceline voltage coming in, and there's no meter detection, and well, there won't be because there's no pacelines connected and there's no meters connected. But if you get that far, the reset light's gone out and those lights have gone out, the program card's booted to the point where it can start the program and show you stuff in the alpha display and try and initialize things. That's what I want to see. I want to see the lights like that. So that's that issue sorted. So now we come to the other issue we're having, the Great Escape. Turn this off again for a second and put a different program card in. I want. Take a nice view of my carpet. Right. Get some more program cards down. There's lots and lots of stuff. I'm in heaven here looking at all these. Anyways, you were thinking that was a Frankenstein. That somebody done some sort of mod or hack or bypass or something. No, believe it or not, that's factory Maygay. I'm not sure what that is. It's either a real-time clock or a security dongle, but when you see one of those, it makes things a little bit more complicated for you because some games need to be matched to that to run. And I think that's part of the issue you were having here. Okay, so, and by the way, this card's faulty. Doesn't work. I figured out the Great Escape eventually, but I figured that out on a different card, and I'll show you why. Okay. we have here a non-dongle card with a version supposedly of Great Escape in it, and there's actually another ROM that was in here, and it is this, I believe, and it doesn't work. I tried this in all the different program cards I've got, and it doesn't work. So I read it into my ROM programmer, and then burned a new chip, because this won't program for some reason. So I think this is dead anyway. It's actually, that's the wrong one. That's this one. No, I may have those wrong one in bed. Anyway, it's one of those two. It's this one. Sorry. It is this one. Actually, I'm getting a wee bit muddled up here because I've got so much stuff lying about, but this chip here, oh, hold on, this is ridiculous. Where is it? Now, you know what, never mind. Cut a long story short, one of your Great Escape chips was dead. This is the other one. I've reburned it to the right program. What I did was, before I discarded the faulty Great Escape chip, what I did was I copied it into my ROM programmer, and I then read it back into MFME, and it sort of run. And I thought, well, what's going on there? It sort of runs. I think it's the wrong version. Actually, have I got it? Actually, yeah. Might have up there, actually. Yeah. So anyway, I have actually, yeah. So I recopied Great Escape a couple of times, and eventually got it running. You have to excuse me getting a bit muddled up here. It's late at night, but we'll get there. Anyways, I want to show you something. This is the version of Great Escape that I copied into my ROM programmer, tested MFME, and then I've copied it back to a chip. I've used my Tuppenny Bonanza chip off the MPU4 card. I mean, I've got that program on my computer, so I can copy it back and forth again as I need to, blank the chip off as many times as I want. Great things about EEPROMs is they don't seem to wear out much, but this is just another chip with the same version of Great Escape that you sent me. So, hold on. And notice there's no dongle in the back. Embarrassing getting all muddled up like that, but never mind. I'll show you what it does. And this is what got me suspicious right away. It's booting. And then it's software resetting. That's not the watchdog doing that. The program's getting as far as starting up, and then it's saying, hold on, I've got a problem, I'll return to start. Again, got me thinking, is there something wrong with the board? Because Great Escape is a 128K program and my test ROM's 64K. Well, no, the same thing applies. If there's only 64K address space that a 6809 can use, so if the 128K can't boot, then surely the 68K couldn't boot either, unless the problem was specifically with very high-end addresses, which I don't think it would be. The reset vectors are not normally FFFE and FFFF, aren't they? So they'd be inside the 64K range, especially with 6809 anyway. So I then thought to myself, well, hang on, maybe he's got the wrong version. Maybe maybe he's got a version that is no matched to his dongle, and neither is it matched to a card that doesn't have a dongle. Maybe he's got some version that I don't know yet. And I think he has, so I've taken a copy of my reference. It doesn't seem to... I've taken a copy of it from my own files because it doesn't seem to work with anything. Except in the emulator it gets as far as saying no jackpot key and then stops. So, what I got to thinking was, well, are there other 128K games I could try? So I had a look in the Fruity EMU archives and I found Cluedo's Super Sleuth, which was on 128K. But I've looked at a Cluedo's Super Sleuth before and I didn't see a dongle on it. So I burned that ROM, and that's actually what is on that. It's jogged my memory now. That's actually what's on that. It's Cluedo's Super Sleuth. The other ROM up there was one I was trying to reburn when I was originally trying to solve the Great Escape mystery out. So watch what happens when I swap this ROM with the one that's on the card there. Again. Right. I've swapped that ROM out. That's here. That's the Great Escape program that you sent me up. I've got Cluedo's Super Sleuth in there now, which is a 128K program but without a dongle. Watch. And don't worry about these lights taking such a long time to come on. What that's actually doing just now is showing, there you go. It was showing an error for RAM clear and playing the alarm sound. The rest of the lights don't go out until you've played that initial alarm sound. And it took such a long time because it's the wrong sound chips, obviously. They're in there. I've still got Great Escape sound chips in there and Cluedo's Super Sleuth program. That's a 128K program and it's booted. Okay. So, I had a stroke of luck. I've got another card with a dongle on. I don't know where it came from. I suspect it was some sort of flavour of Great Escape. And what I did was I took all your ROMs off that card and put them onto this card, but with the front opening version of the program, and it's definitely the front opening version because I've tested it in MFME. So, watch. Right. Great Escape front opening card with the newly burnt ROM, which is set to 5 at the moment, unfortunately, but I think you can set that with a jackpot key, and the dongle. Observe. Boom. I think that pretty much conclusively proves that the board's running. Issue you had was combination of the ROMs being on the wrong type of cards, that gal chip being broken. I might try and reburn some of these. I'll try and copy that one and see what it does. And the dongle not being matched up to the ROMs. Now, this doesn't prove conclusively that your reels will work, your lamps will be working. You'll need help from your friend to sort all that out once you've got the board back in the machine. I can't test that. I do not have a Maygay machine, and I'm probably not intending to get one because they are heavy cabinets and the discs in my back are bad enough. But I can do enough with what I've got here to set everything up. So here's what's going to happen. this board's coming back to you with that program card. That should get your Great Escape up and running. I've sent the EastEnders card back to you that I've repaired also. Where is it? That's this one here. That's got a new gallon, and that gets that up and running. So that should be both your Maygay machines up and running, at least to the point of booting up, and then I'm sure you can troubleshoot lamps and stuff yourself. I'll send you a copy of the schematics also, and I'll try and talk you through them when I get back to you on the buzzer. But anyway, that's a bit of a long-winded and somewhat absent-minded video what I did. I mean, it's bad enough trying to do Maygays as it is without doing them in the middle of the living room, without workshop facilities. I had to give the kitchen table up, unfortunately. The kitchen is now a kitchen again. So, yeah, but confused you will be. Anyway, that's that board. Now, we'll move on to this board, and I probably will need to take over the kitchen for a while because this one has a multitude, apart from stabbing me in the fingers right now, it has a multitude of issues. I've already replaced this socket, as I said, but there's no clock coming out of it, and there's green everywhere, and that's gone, and there's obviously corrosion under there, there's corrosion under there, there's corrosion under there. Board's going to need some work. I'll make a start on that in the morning, and I'll create a bill of materials as I go, because I know you've already ordered that there, the 681. I've got a CPU that I can take out of stock. I've got one upstairs, but I'm going to need some other parts for this one. I'm probably also going to need to invest in a scope as well, because we're going to have to do some pretty detailed repair work to this one. And look at the state of the crystal there. The crystal's even got corrosion, got internal corrosion. You can tell it's damp on the inside. Well, look at the difference. There's a nice shiny one there, and that one's been next to the battery. Go figure. Right, but let's not get rambling on about this. Oh, there's some issues as well down here. This is all burnt up as well. Yeah, that's corroded there, and you probably can't see it much, but hold on. Yeah, that's got obvious issues there. Actually, you can see that's actually burnt through the corner of the board there. That's pretty serious, that. Looks like a stepper motor jammed on or something. There's some jiggery pokery there, and there was a wire coming from here somewhere as well. But yeah, we'll get to that. I'm not doing it tonight. I'm going back to watch one of my favourite TV programmes. Hope I don't get a copyright strike off of that. And, well, I know this video was a bit of a pain in the ass to follow, but yeah, bye for now.